All right, we apologize for the downtime there. We had some technical difficulties with our internet connection.
It was kind of strange because we've never had that happen here anyway.
I think we're good using a hodgepodge of wireless access points and some bubble gum and a little bit of old technology, and I think we're good to go.
The end of an eraser.
All right.
Things like that. So, okay. Well, we are in Game 3. I don't know if we have any scores or totals yet.
We do have for after Game 2. We have some scores.
Okay.
So.
All right.
So we're a game behind, but we're catching up.
All right. So on your ladies' side, Chloe Herman continues to lead at plus 68, followed by Michelle Malley at plus 65. Dana Ausec at plus 37. Carrie Enders at plus 26. Lori Coors plus 15. Wanda Ellis at plus 11. And Debbie McMullen is your cut at plus 4. All right. Some notables is Angie Manini at minus 7. Shannon Canfield at minus 11. Rachel Ray and Harmony Tran at minus 14. Let's see here. Chelsea Tongsing at minus 19. Caitlin Robinson at minus 22. Monica Garcia and Caitlin Evers at minus 23. Let's see here. Isabel Ping is at minus 29, followed by Haley Howard. Linda Walbom and Jennifer Couples are minus 30. Let's see here. That's about where we're at there. So on the senior side,
some big scores there being shot there at the top of the leaderboard. We got a tie at plus 114. After 2, that's a big day.
Yeah. So you got David Tolson, who decides he just wants to average 257. So, and he shot 257 his first game, and he shot 257 his second game. So let's see if he can shoot a third one. That'd be pretty impressive.
That would be an impressive triplicate.
Yeah. To average 257.
Yeah.
So David Tolson and Barry Lindsay are plus 114, followed by Chris Martinez at plus 97, followed by Bobby Robinson Jr. at 92 over. Greg Needham is at plus 76. Linneo Floyd is plus 73. Dave Trujillo is plus 66, followed by Scott Sloan at plus 63. Kevin Maloney is at plus 59. John Johnson is plus 50. Mark Shirless is plus 46. Mark Epperson is plus 44. And Linneo Floyd is plus 31, and he's your cut. Let's see some notables. You got Nate Bolton and Felix Garcia at plus 24. Mike Diaz is at minus 5. Dwayne Mellinger minus 13. Wayne Stellick minus 15. Dwayne Steinmetz minus 21. Some pretty good numbers there. That's about where we're at for now. So, So to kind of get back, can we go to number 2? So on this pair, you're going to have, I believe that's Chris Bernhardt. You're going to have Felix Garcia, Dana Ausec. Not sure who else is in that pair. Isabel Ping, Dave Trujillo. And there's one more I'm missing. So let's go back and talk about Dana real quick. So Miss Dana. Let me see here. Oh, that's the wrong one.
Ooh, Felix trips a 9-pin out there.
And of course, now that I finaled it, I ended up closing that window. Good job, Ike. Gotta love it.
Oh, that's a nice shot there by David Trujillo. Yeah, we're starting to see some scores rise up here a little bit. Looks like they're starting to get comfortable, starting to get a look, opening the lanes up a little bit. Seems like we got some players out there that are hitting the pocket pretty consistently now.
So yeah, so Miss Dana Ausec, she looks like they ended up winning gold in the doubles, female senior, her and Liz Johnson. How do you like winning that? Well,
Yeah, that's
one of the top female bowlers in the country,
yeah,
if not the world.
yeah.
Yeah. Liz Johnson, Jody Worsner and Kathy Ledford ended up taking silver. Let's see. This is in the senior women's doubles. Let's see what else we got here. In the women's singles. And of course, now I'm going to fight internet, right?
Yes, you are.
Let's see here. Jody Worsner took the senior singles, followed by Liz Johnson, and Dana finished in fourth, and Kathy Ledford finished in fifth. So not a bad showing there.
Not a bad showing.
Yeah. Let's see. Women trios. Miss Dana, followed by Jody Worsner and Liz Johnson, ended up taking the gold in the women's trios. So
Nice.
very good showing there.
Yeah.
Women's team, I believe they got one in there too. So yeah, so Dana Ausec, Jody Worsner, Kathy Ledford, and Liz Johnson ended up taking gold in the team as well.
Wow, they just went out. They went out there and beat up on everybody.
They pretty much did. And then in all events, Liz Johnson took the gold, Jody Worsner took silver, and Dana Ausec with a bronze. So
Nice.
top 3 U.S. senior players there.
Yeah, that's
very impressive.
That's a strong showing.
Yes, she bowled well out there. I was able to watch a couple of days and a couple of tournaments, not all of them, but most of them. So she looked like she was having fun.
Yeah, well, yeah. Was that gold, bronze? I'll take that.
Gold, bronze, and a fourth placer. So, I mean, she's been doing pretty good for Team USA, basically. So she, I believe this is her second year bowling Team USA for the seniors.
Nice.
So she's racking up the stats in that. So she is here locally from Colorado Springs. Her husband Tim Ausec. I don't know where he's at today. He's usually bowling this with her. I guess she decided to go solo today.
Well, he's probably having to do some practice to keep up with her.
Or he's golfing, one of the two.
I
think he's a golfing coach, I believe.
Ah.
I'm not 100% sure.
Well, this would be a prime golf day, so.
Yeah.
It's also the season opener for the Denver Broncos today, so anybody who's interested in football may just be hunkered down watching football.
Maybe. I don't watch too much football. I can say it's not that I don't care. I just don't care.
Yeah, sounds about right.
Yeah, I got other things to worry about besides that. So all the other things that go with like watching football, drinking beer, barbecuing, definitely.
So you're just in it for the beer and the barbecue. I gotcha.
Yeah, I ain't gonna lie.
I gotcha. Well, being that I was born and raised in the Denver area, I'm a huge Broncos fan, and we're kind of excited for our prospects this season. We might win more than 5 games, so we're a little excited.
Yeah, I hope, well, if they can keep their head straight. I mean, correct me if I'm wrong. I just feel that the Broncos are trying to build a team around one person instead of build a team around everyone.
No, I think they've. I think they're moving on to the next chapter. I think we've got some good young players.
Yeah.
That we can kind of build a team around. I mean, obviously you want to make sure you have a strong defense. I think we're kind of working on that a bit too. So.
Yeah.
I think we're going to be. I don't think we're going to run away with it this year, but I think we're building the foundation to kind of move ourselves up. We got Kansas City in our division, and they've been just running over everybody. So
yeah, they're the team. They've been the team the last 3-4 years. So
we're looking to build a team specifically to compete with them. So hopefully we can get that done.
Yeah, it'd be nice. It's hard to go from being Super Bowl contenders for a while there, than to barely finishing a season half 50-50. So, yeah. I mean, I know that's heartbreaking, but
yeah, we had Peyton Manning retired, and we've had 25 quarterbacks since then. I'm not even sure how many. So we'll. But I think we're on the right track. So. All right, so enough football. Back to bowling. Looks like we're getting ready to wrap up game number 3 here. Starting to see some bigger scores come in here at least on our what's going to be our championship pair here. I believe is 3 and 4.
Let's go to 3 real quick. I think that's the one we want to look at. Yeah, 3.
There?
Yeah, either or. So, Mr. Myers, you're about a day late and about 22 cents short. We've already taken care of that request.
Oh, are you getting requests on the old text line?
Yes, sir. For a shout out to Jennifer Couples' mom. We'll give her another one, Miss Jane. Jan. Okay, I apologize. Your daughter would like to send out a shout out to you. She's hope you're watching. I know you are. So please forgive us for our interruptions.
Yeah.
Hopefully we've got those figured out. So, and you take care of yourself, Miss Jan. You got a lot to look forward to. So stay positive and be happy. And let's hope your daughter, Jen, can take it all the way today. That'd be an awesome thing. So, all right, let's go to, I know, we'll go back. Sounds like we got too many Chiefs over here. I don't know. Too many Chiefs. That's why that thing should be over here with us, not with them. But that's just me anyway. Or you could just be like, well, do your job. Pay attention. Mr. Felix Garcia.
I understand you did some work with Mr. Garcia this week, right?
Yeah, actually, the last couple of weeks. It was kind of weird because we were just kind of chit-chatting like we always do, and I heard him mention, he's like, I'm going to probably give it another year, and if my bowling doesn't shape up, then I'm just going to hang it up, and I'm like, really, Felix? I mean, as much time as this gentleman spends in the bowling center, bowling and practicing and just trying to get better, I know mentally he's there, but after bowling crappy for the longest time, it starts to wear on you. So there for a while I thought about it. I drill his stuff. Okay, so I do a lot of the drillings for him and Miss Mary and his son Zach. So I kind of took a step back and just started thinking about why would Felix say that? You know, what's going on that's making him say that, you know? So I ended up pulling out his drill sheet. So I got his drill sheet, and I'm looking at it and just kind of looking at his finger pitches, his spans, this and that. And I was like, I wonder if we can change something somewhere in here to help create a little bit better ball motion.
And what did you determine?
I refit his hand.
Okay.
Okay, so we ended up, he had a really, I'm not going to say super stretched ring finger, but it was probably a little longer than what it should have been.
Okay.
So I ended up shrinking his ring finger by about an eighth.
Really?
And I changed his finger pitches. So in his ring finger, he was like 5/8 right, and his middle finger was like 3/8 left. I'm like, okay, that's kind of an odd combination. But he had a lot of forward pitch in his fingers. So
Okay.
if you
A lot
look
of
at it,
under.
yeah, so his fingers were curled under. And then I took another look at his thumb, and he had an eighth left
So he was squeezed into it.
and an eighth forward. And I'm like, well, this is why you can only get out of the ball one way, you
Yeah.
know, and
Yeah.
you have no mobility to get around it or do
Yeah.
anything other than just kind of throw it off your hand,
Yeah.
you know. So we made the changes. This was about 3 weeks ago, I believe. So we made the changes on a couple of balls. I was like, let's just do a couple. Let's see what happens. You know, we did a new oval for him on his thumb.
Okay.
I tweaked that a little bit more for him. And he's kind of bowling it, and we kind of keep in contact. I was like, how's that stuff? He's like, I don't know. It's this and that. I'm not sure what we're trying to do. I'm like, okay. So I was like, just keep working with it. We'll get together. We'll practice at some point. So the more he threw it, he's like, well, I'm starting to like it a little bit better. I'm like, okay. You finding that it's easier to do a few more things with it? He's like, yeah. So we had a good practice session yesterday, 4.5 hours. So we were at Holiday for a while.
Wow. Yeah.
Yeah. And I just kind of worked with him as trying to show him how to release the ball a certain way, to do certain things. And if you do it this way, you're going to create a whole different kind of access tilt and access roll, things like that. And it was like a kid on Christmas when he smiles when he started learning all these little different releases and how to do them and when to do them, you know. And he's just like, wow. You know, the biggest thing that changed was his access. So before, he was about 4 3/4-ish over by about an inch up. Okay.
Really?
Yeah. So not too bad. I'm
No,
4.5 by
yeah.
3/4. Okay. But the biggest thing that changed was his tilt.
Okay.
So, and with the tilt coming down, it made his access point longer. So now he's getting more ball on the lane versus the spinny type, you know. So
The spinner, yeah.
yeah, and that's what I was explaining to him. I was like, you know, your old access point was very close to mine, but I have more of a down tilt versus what you have. So that's why my equipment reacts so much more better than when you throw it, you know. So we ended up getting his tilt to come down almost 20 degrees.
Really?
Yeah, so he's probably around 50 degrees now. So I mean, this tilt was pretty high up there. So, and he was like, "Wow, I can see the difference on the way my ball rolls down the lane." I'm like, "Well, yeah, because now you can do a lot of different things."
Well, not to mention more surface of the ball sees the lane.
Yeah,
That's
and you know, he was surprised. So I think we've pretty much got it dialed in. He was like, hey, I want you to determine whether we're good and go from here or we need to do more. I was like, Felix, that's up to you.
yeah.
You've got to figure out if we need something different, if you're feeling something's here, feeling something there, whatever, and then we make the adjustments off of what you're feeling, not what I'm feeling. Because
I think that's a common thing, especially when you're, you know, you start bowling and you get your ball drilled, you get it fitted, you get it drilled, and you know you bowl for several years like that, and that just kind of becomes the norm for you. But you don't realize what limitations there are in the way that you have the ball drilled.
correct.
As you start to broaden the the lane conditions that you see and the amount that you bowl and the and the strategies you have to employ in like longer tournaments and things like that.
Yeah.
I think a lot of people are real stubborn about wanting to change their grip.
Yep.
Because it is quite an ordeal, and I think everybody wants someone to tell them how it should be, and they don't realize that you have to tell the ball driller how you would like it to be.
Exactly,
and there's a lot of dialing in that needs to happen there specifically with spans are relatively easy because you can kind of figure out the span is
easily.
But then when you start dealing with pitches and the pitches are the hardest part.
They are, and that's what makes your pro shop operator or your ball driller, whoever it is that does your stuff for you, is that anybody can drill a ball, but can they fit your hand properly? And I know a lot, whether you're a beginner up to the top level pros, they're always changing something, especially on the higher end, because they need something that feels.
Well, and gaining that flexibility, right? As you were saying, you may, when you're learning how to bowl, you want to put your hand in the ball, and that's how it's going to be, and you want kind of the ball to dictate that while you're learning how to bowl. But once you get to a point where you have to start to get around it or to get up the back of it or do different things, you have to have a little bit of flexibility so you can get out of the ball
correctly
in all those scenarios. And so that requires, and there's no magical formula for what that is. It's
there ain't, because,
and
and that's all it is. Your pro shop operator, your ball driller is going to see things, and he's going to give you feedback on what you're telling him. It's like, hey, are you having troubles getting around the ball? What do you mean? I mean, like, if you look here, you're having trouble doing this. I guess you can say that. Okay, well, let's take a look at something, Let's see if we can get you to do that. And then once they do that, okay, well, how did that feel? Well, I'm starting to feel pressure on, like, this side of my thumb, or I'm feeling pressure on the top side of my hand into my wrist. I'm like, okay, well, let's take a look at your pitches and see what's going on. Yeah. So once you figure out, okay, let's do a thumb with this and that, make those adjustments. Say, okay, now how's that feel? Well, now I'm starting to feel like my ring finger and the second knuckles hurting more. I'm like, okay, all right.
That's another pitch change.
Yep, that's another pitch change. So it's just little things that kind of happen when you talk to your ball driller or pro shop operator. Those are key little things. They may be small, but they're very, very important. So
and sadly, with bowling, and this is one of the problems that people have, I think, is when you want to make a change like that, it's not like something you can change and say, "Oh, is that comfortable? Okay, well, we'll change it back here." Like, you have to kind of go into it. That's why you need to consult with your pro shop operator. Is your ball driller is going to be able to tell you the right direction to go.
Right.
But you may have to go through 3 or 4 iterations of a grip, and it's not something you're going to do in a day.
Nope, and it's going to take some time to get used to it. And I think that's where a lot of bowlers miss the opportunity to let it happen. Practice. Don't make the change and then go bowl league and be like, well, it's not working.
It doesn't work. I want to go back.
Exactly. So and it's like you've got to give it time. I mean, Felix, he bowled with these 2 balls that we've refitted from scratch, and he would only practice with those ones, but he would bowl league with his old stuff. Okay. So
you're not really benefiting from it.
Right. But in a way it makes sense because we all have that competitive nature in us. We all learn in a different way, in different manner. And he's like, well, I'm going to continue with the old stuff during league because I've got to be effective. I'm like, okay, I get it, and I kind of got on him a little bit. I was like, use the new stuff. But with the same respect, they were just weaker bowling balls, so it's not something you're going to take somewhere,
Yeah, that's true. Well, but even at that, at some point you have to pull the Band-Aid off.
Yeah, exactly.
Or you're never going to make the change.
So in what he was, and I understand what he was doing, because at first he's like, well, I really couldn't tell a difference, but as he went back and forth, he's like, I'm starting to feel and see a difference in the way my ball rolls and the way it reacts down the lane, I'm like, oh, well, that's good. I was like, being able to use both those spans and changes is allowing him to be a little bit more comfortable with being like, oh, I know I can't do this in this ball, So how do I mimic what I'm doing in this ball from the other ball?
Yep.
He's like, well, I've got to relax this, I got to relax that, and then I just got to make sure I'm a little slower, a little faster, you know, just little things. So, and we made the decision last night to move forward with the new stuff. So that's a good thing. And he's like, well, what ball do you think we should bowl? Because he wanted me to start plugging a bunch of older stuff, year-old, 2-year-old, 3-year-old. I was like, Felix, I get it.
You're not going to get the reaction that you want.
Yeah, I was like, but we need you to stay up to date.
Yeah.
Okay, maybe the year-old ball's okay.
Yeah.
Anything from there, probably not. So he's like, well, he's like, well, what do I start with? And I was like, let's get you an Ion Pro. So
you went
yeah,
top line right out of the bag.
Well,
right out of the gate.
Well, not only top line, but that ball is really good.
Yeah.
I don't know if you have one or not.
I do not.
It's basically a IQ tour with a little bit more steroids. So it's really good. Still clean.
Same core, right?
Or
is it slightly
no,
different?
it's a different core. It's got the AI core. The weight block's a little bit different. It is a hybrid, 2 parts pearl, 1 solid, I believe.
Okay.
And it's got the 4,000 finish, but actually I do believe it does have the same core wrapped around the AI. Where'd you go?
And
nope, it's got a different core in it.
Oh yeah, that's
good.
out of the not the.
That's the Element Tour.
The Element Tour.
Yeah, from the Crux series.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, and I didn't mind the Cruxes. I think I had the original. I really liked it, but didn't really throw it a whole lot because I didn't have anywhere to really throw it.
Yeah, exactly. I had the same problem with it. I had a Crux and I threw it in league. I drilled it to bowl in tournaments, but I could never really throw it in anything. And then in league, I tried to use it a few times, and it was too big.
Yeah, it was just too much.
Too much ball.
Yeah. You know, so I mean, those are good things there. So, and I think they hit when Storm said they made a benchmark asymmetrical. You know, I think they were pretty much right on, because I mean, when I use that ball, from my personal experience, I don't average less than 230.
Wow.
So, it just gives me everything I need. You know, so. It's one of those things where it's not the ball, it's the bowler, because now I can go, oh, I need a little bit more. Well, let's just tweak the hand just a smidge more and give it some more, you know. So, in the response, it's just boom, boom, boom. So
good. Yeah, I've got to tool up my equipment a little bit. I recently drilled a lightning blackout, which I really like.
You like that one?
Yeah.
Okay.
It's a little lower flare, but it still has that I believe that's on the G, which it's the same thing as the night road that I'm throwing. I have a night road as well. As you can tell, I like the balls that have no color in them. There's that same RGX or REX.
Yeah, the Rex Pearl cover stock. Yeah,
which I like that cover stock.
It's featured on
my game pretty well.
It's on a couple of balls. So I believe it's on the Evo as well.
Yeah, I have an Evo as well.
Yeah.
Obviously, because it's another one of the balls that's black.
Yeah.
So.
You know, I used to have that same fetish too. Was I don't want to see anything rolling down the lane. You know what I mean? If I pick up the pin or the center of gravity in the first 20 feet, okay, whatever. But everything after that, I don't want to see that. But I've learned to not let that affect me anymore.
No, I
so
don't let it affect me. I just like I like the blackout series of balls. So.
Yeah.
But I need to tool up with something a little more top line. Especially before I'm gonna be bowling in the Denver Senior Masters at the end of next month.
Well, I believe so.
So I gotta get some stuff figured out between now and then.
I don't know if it's the end of next month or not, because I know the Denver Masters.
It's the weekend after the Denver Masters, or 2 weeks after the Denver Masters.
Yeah, I think I got the schedule here. Give me one second.
So I got my work cut out for me. I got to figure out what I want to throw and how I want to throw it.
Okay, so let's see here. Masters is the 11th and 12th.
And then it's either the following weekend or the weekend after. Same place, right, Arapaho?
It's 2 weekends after.
Yeah.
The 27th.
27th.
Yeah. So it's basically after City Championship. Oh wait, no, I'm looking at the wrong one.
You're looking at the wrong one.
Yeah.
It's the third weekend of
it is.
September. Or of October. I know because that's my travel league day. So I'm going to be missing travel league on that day. And I believe Neo Prism is broadcasting that event as well.
Which one?
The senior.
Are they?
I think so.
I think we did last year too.
I will.
Yeah, because Scott Sloan won, I believe, last year.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I will be bowling in it, so if all goes well, you won't get to hear my voice at all. But if I end up
that's
not
going to be a sad day.
if I end up not making the cut, then I'll probably join you guys in the booth. But.
Let's see. Let's get some other views going here. Let's see what number 4 looks like.
All right.
Move on down the pair in the right order. Oh, we've seen these guys earlier.
Oh, I want to see Felix's look here. There's the wind up, and there's the pitch.
Yeah,
It's working.
So yeah, from watching that and then what we were working on yesterday, I can tell he's still struggling to kind of stay underneath it.
As you say, it looks like it got off his hand a little bit early.
Yeah.
Like it was a little off a little quick.
Because what he has to do is just got to kind of lead
Flip
with
it.
the thumb, yeah.
Yeah.
And he can't clear the bottom, clear it the way he wants to, like we were doing yesterday. But yeah, I mean, it looks good. And the key part of that is he understands that.
Yeah.
And he knows that's what's happening. So
Yeah. He can work with that.
yeah.
All right, we'll move on down the chain here.
And first look at Mike Cook. Let's see. Stephen Von Cano.
You'll get it. Oh,
Kevin Maloney.
I didn't see what Kevin did. We're in game 4 now.
We don't have any game. Looks like they're coming.
Ooh.
Maloney was in 9th at third.
9th after 2.
59 over roughly. So
Yeah. Looks like we're going to have some scores coming to us here pretty soon.
ooh, Stone 8. That was funny. So we were practicing, and I was like, "Hey, Felix, we're gonna get you round up here." And I was like, "Let's move everything. Let's go 2 dots left, and then move your target only 5." He's like, "Ooh, that's gonna be a crazy angle." I was like, "Trust me, but make sure your break point's at about 7 or 8-ish." And I was like, "Make sure you get here once you set up, get that wrist cocked over, and then just hold it and get through it." So he did. And I was like, holy crap, dude. I was like, you had some revs, you circled the lane, and you stoned an 8. Good shot.
He probably felt like he was going to throw it in the gutter,
He did.
targeting 7 down lane.
Yeah, he did. So he was just like, wow. I was like, you could never do that before with your other stuff, I'll tell you that. He's like, nope. So, all right. So after game 3, David Tolson, he upped the average a little bit. He went up 3 pins on average.
Wow.
So David Tolson goes 250, 250, 260 to go plus 182.
Wow.
And he is averaging 260 on this pair. Right behind him is going to be Chris Martinez. I shouldn't say right behind him, but following up is Chris Martinez at plus 132, followed by Bobby Robinson Jr. at plus 122, Barry Lindsay at plus 110, John Johnson's at plus 106, Mark Shirless at plus 92, Scott Sloan at plus 87, Linneo Floyd at plus 85, David Trujillo 71 over, Nate Bolton plus 61, Dwayne Mellinger's plus 53. He had a big game that last game. Kevin Maloney's at plus 51, and your cut is Ernie Lloyd at plus 42. Followed by Robert Worrell at plus 29, along with Greg Nerum. Felix is plus 28, followed by Mark Epperson. Let's see here. Diaz is a plus 21. What else we got? That's about all we got. Marko Popovic decided he wanted to take up the bottom part of this list for whatever reason. I don't think I've ever seen him perform that way, but is what it is. On the ladies' side, you got Chloe Herman continues to lead at plus 68, followed by Michelle Malley at plus 59, Wanda Ellis at plus 55, Carrie Anders at plus 41, Dana Ausec at plus 39, Laurie Kors at plus 9, and your cut is Miss Isabel Ping at plus 5. Shannon Canfield at minus 19, followed by Devin McMullen at minus 22. Tasha Green is minus 28, as well as Monica Garcia. Linda Wobham is minus 29. Emily Arndt is minus 32. Rachel Ray is minus 36. Angie Manini is minus 37. Jan Couples is minus 42. She's been pretty consistent today, so. Chelsea Tonsing's at minus 42. Kaylin Robinson's minus 43. I'm sorry, 44. That's about what we got going there. So it looks like the women kind of found a stable position at the moment. So I'm going to chalk that up to the transition.
Yeah, this is about the time of the tournament when things start to get a little hooky from outside and a little skiddy from inside. And
yep. Interesting. I don't know if I want another one of those or not.
What are you drinking there?
Red beer, tomato juice.
I used to love those back when I was drinking.
I kind of got into that Zing Zang thing, so that's pretty good. But either way. He looks bored.
Are we still in game 3? Or is this halfway through game 4?
It should be game.
This is game 4, okay.
Yeah. I talk to our peoples. Oh, hold on. Yeah. Okay.
Oh yeah, that's right.
All right. Whatever. Don't mind us.
When you have a bunch of technical difficulties early in the morning, all the stuff that is working as it should starts to look like it's having technical difficulties.
Yeah. It's like, are we sure we're there?
We're blaming all of our woes from this morning on the internet et al. We'll just say
I could agree with that. I'm going to chalk it up to solar flares. It just, because I know at our house we were having internet issues there for a while too, just dropping everything for whatever reason. I'm just like, what is going on? And then it lasted for like 3 or 4 days.
Ooh.
And then it stopped. We're like, huh, well, that's kind of interesting. So, like, whatever.
Are you sure you were paying your bill?
Oh, yeah, trust me. That thing was paid because I'd go through and I'd look at the modems, I'd look at our routers, I'd look at our extenders, I'd update everything, and we still had the problems. I'm just like, what is going on? Huh. But, yeah, it was weird because, like, our extender downstairs, it would kick on, then kick off, kick on, boot us out. And then I'd have to restart and reconfigure that router or that extender. And I'm like, why is it doing that? And then, of course, you know, your modem upstairs that you get from your ISO or ISP, whatever, it kind of did the same thing too. It booted everything out and had to reconfigure that. I'm like, what's going on here? So, and of course, you call tech support and like, oh, well, maybe you just need to restart it. I'm like, that's the problem. It's doing it on its own.
It already took care of that.
You know, and I try to limit my time when I talk to those guys anyway, because half the time you're already done 99% of what they told you to do. So, and then it's just like, well, I'm not sure what we can do for you. It's like, well, you're no help.
Yeah.
Figure it out myself.
Well, a lot of time tech seems to have a mind of its own. So.
Yeah. And that's kind of scary because now that this AI stuff is coming into play. So.
Well, you know, as with all technologies, AI is going to be something that, if done properly, is just going to be a tool to help humans do things faster. So hopefully it stays that way. I don't think it's ever going to take over the world, but.
Well, yeah, well, at least not in our time anyway.
There's a lot of literature out there on the topic.
Yep.
It's if it's kept in context, it's not quite as scary as it seems. So I actually use it a lot for assistance in writing code. So
nice.
when we're having to debug something or write a little bit of code to do something and you can't and you don't know how to do it, it's real easy. We use Copilot in our coding environment that can kind of help us with. If I say, I need to get this from the database, and if you tell it enough information, it'll tell you how to get it. So you don't have to know all the syntax.
Right.
So that's the kind of stuff that I think AI is going to be most prevalent at, is just being able to help you get information.
Just more assistance.
Yeah, because it does things. It does the same things that you can do with information. It just does it faster.
Yeah.
So if you can get have it read through 1 million articles in a couple milliseconds and give you a synopsis.
Yeah, then it's much
then
better that way.
you don't have to read through 1 million articles. Yeah.
And it takes you 2 weeks, 3 weeks, or whatever, depending on how fast you read.
Yeah. I'm a notoriously slow reader, so
me too.
AI is actually a good thing for me.
Yeah, because when I read, I don't really read a whole lot. I go through and I kind of scan, and it's one of the things I learned back in the day where you just kind of scan and start picking out keywords. Once you see keywords, you go back a couple of sentences or a paragraph, and you're like, oh, okay, all right, that's crap. Okay, well, that's crap too, So
I could never do that. I can kind of scan through stuff and kind of skim the top, but I'm one of those people that focuses on reading every word and understanding it. And I find myself getting drifting off on that punctuation was wrong, and then were they trying to say this or were they trying to say that? Because that comma didn't make sense. So I end up distracting myself with the minutia of this grammar is wrong.
Right.
So sometimes I have to read a paragraph 10 times to make sure.
Yeah, no, I know what you mean. So, and I'm bad at grammar because I think that's just the reality of being able to scan things. Yeah. So where I should put commas, I don't. Yeah. And, my wife, she gets mad at me. She's like, are you mad or are you saying something? I'm like, what do you mean? Well, is there supposed to be a couple of commas in there? And I'm like, yeah. She's like, can you put some commas in there next time? Maybe. We'll see.
This is a run-on sentence with absolutely no punctuation.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And then it's funny because now I'll go back and read it, and I'm like, oh, okay, I guess I can see where she's having troubles.
Communication.
Yeah, so it's funny. But, it's just one of those things. It's just byproducts of what you do personally, so.
What you practice, right?
Yeah.
It's so true in every portion of your life. You don't realize it.
Yeah.
You are a product of how you practice everything.
Yep. So. Man, I don't like this view we got.
Yeah, let's.
We got a 4.6, we got a 4.10, and we got a 2.87. Well, this one ain't much better.
Yeah, we don't got any splits on this view. Let's see what Felix is doing.
Got a lot of sticks standing up there. That's crazy. Got a Pittsburgh Steeler that lost his helmet. So I think we're going to see some of the scores probably in that bottom half kind of come down a little bit on the senior side. Yeah. I think the guys up top are pretty well locked in.
Yeah,
so
I think they may even accelerate a little bit now.
Yeah.
when you can get in and wheel it out to the friction and let it come back. I think we're past the cliffing.
Yeah, easily.
I think we're past the cliffing part of the lanes. Although I did notice a couple guys got the ball in just a little bit and it doesn't want to make the corner. So that means that it's that's that time where you've got to get it to the right.
Yeah.
You've got to feed it to the right, but you may have to do it from far left, but you have to get it to the right.
Right.
Or it's going to get stuck in the puddles in the middle.
The cliff.
The old cliff.
Yeah. Let's see what's Dana doing here. Looks like she's struggling a little bit. Ooh.
Can opener right up 10.
Yep, kind of peeled that open. She might be throwing an ion. That's what it kind of looked like.
It was a darker ball.
Yeah. Well, I've noticed a lot of her stuff that she's been throwing has been sanded. So I'm kind of curious as to why, but I don't know.
Well, there's when your equipment is a little duller like that, you get a longer read, right? The ball's slower to react, or it reacts over a longer period of time. So I think that becomes more controllable the more tournament bowling you do. It's probably preferable to some games. I do better with shiny equipment usually, specifically because I have a little softer speed and I get around the ball.
Right.
And I need it to be late, but I get into trouble with that sometimes. So I could see that wanting more of an arcing ball, especially in...
Get it. So, yeah, and I understand because I'm the same way. I mean, I'll throw a ball that comes out sanded, but I'll never touch that surface again.
Let it lane shine up.
Yeah, the only balls I've ever really touched with a pad were some of the older shiny balls that came out with that react to shine or whatever was on it, like the high roads, things like that, shiny balls. Because believe it or not, it did make a difference, big difference. I used to do that with the new stuff that comes on the Storm bowling balls now. I believe it's React to Gloss. Yeah. Hang on. I was starting to hit those too because, that's when that stuff first came out. And you're like, wow, this stuff is no good. It just makes the balls travel forever, And I'm like, okay, how do we fix that? Well, of course, you do what you normally do.
Buff it off a little bit.
Yeah, and so now, even with everything that comes with it now, I don't even touch my equipment anymore.
I never really did much surface-wise with bowling equipment up until I bought, what's that pink and green thing from Storm, the
Nova, the Supernova, I believe.
The original Nova. The pink and...
The original Nova? Was that pink?
Yeah, it was like pink. It had pink and green and black or something. But I bought that ball and I threw it, and it came at I believe it came out of the box at 1500. And it just hooked way too early, so I had it surfaced back to up to 2000, and then no, I'm sorry, it came at 2000. I had it surfaced.
Yeah, I was gonna say it was something like that.
To 1500, and then I polished it, and that thing I loved that ball. I wore it out, and then gave it away. But just that surface, and since then I'll change the surface on something pretty regularly. But for the longest time, I bought the ball and used it as intended. I never really surfaced much.
Let's see.
Oh, you have to go through the retired balls now. Huh?
Yeah. I don't think I ever had any of the Nova Series balls.
I really liked it. I really liked that ball.
Check the box.
Explain.
Check the box.
We're filling out our questionnaire here real quick.
Yeah, give us a minute. It's kind of the weirdest questionnaire I've seen in a while. I don't even know what I'm trying to write, but I know what I'm trying to write.
All we know that most of the words are spelled wrong and there's no punctuation.
Nope.
Yeah, double cheeseburger, no bun.
I know exactly.
Yeah. Nothing else on it but some mustard on the side. No fries.
I
Just
love
telling
those.
your orders to the world.
Yeah.
You gotta write it down and check it.
In case you didn't catch that, I'm going to have a double cheeseburger with no bun, no fries, and a little bit of mustard on the side.
Check your box and explain.
I already explained it to you. Rob knows what I
At
want.
least check your box.
I don't even know what the menu looks like here. Let me find out. I can't ask for a menu because it's posted up on the wall. So
Why does Mike's handwriting actually look kind of good?
Because I went to Catholic school.
I did too.
See? Then you probably have good handwriting too.
That is my handwriting.
because I have construction handwriting, you just gotta
Yeah,
pick
your,
out.
Your handwriting looks like a second grader.
Give it crap.
All right.
I didn't even put my. Hold on. Hey.
All he put is his stupid description of what his emotions are at the moment. He didn't-
I hate this internet because you put in Kingpin lanes, it takes you to Kentucky. Stupid thing. Kingpin lanes. Colorado Springs. So stupid. Technology is great, but dumb.
Technology's as smart or dumb as the person using it. So
I don't agree with that statement. We're going to have a talk here in a minute. Well, it's just weird because you would think it would bring up being geographically located, and you type in Kingpin lanes, it would bring you to the closest one, not one on the other side of the country.
I'm guessing that it's bringing you to the most popular
Yeah.
one in its search results.
Pretty much, yeah. So
And that depends on what. Are you using your ISO or your ISP? So are you using your Wi-Fi or are you using your
my 5G.
5G?
Yeah.
So who's your carrier? See, that's
Verizon.
That's where it all gets into.
Yeah.
All right. Where are we at game-wise here?
A
We are.
soda water, huh?
Yeah.
Some of us would like to eat over here, so you might want to hurry up.
Our producer is putting some pressure on us to get our lunch orders in so that.
You gotta ask Mama too, because I'm sure she's probably gonna be hungry. She's gonna be mad at me if I'm eating without her. So I don't even know what they have up there anymore. You know what? I might as well go with you guys. I will be right back.
All right. All right. So I'll just be here talking to myself and all of you out there, our lovely viewers. Thank you for supporting us and tuning in. So we're wrapping up game 4 here, getting ready to roll into game 5. I'm talking.
You're done?
All right, we're gonna take a short break here. We'll be right back.
We're doing enough
7 trips, so I should have everything.